Destiny marked the dawn of an incredible vision. The game is beloved by many, and as we anticipate the next chapter in our Guardian's journey, we can't help but wonder what adventures, what peril, and what treasure may lie ahead. I present to you a vision of what that journey may look like: an epic story, a rewarding character progression system, and perhaps more importantly, a perfected endgame experience that will keep players invested and immersed for months after. Many of the ideas presented here are mechanics and systems that might be employed elsewhere, but I believe would make an incredible addition to Destiny. So kick back and let me show you my dream of Destiny 2. The Destiny 2 experience will begin like most games do, with the completion of a story campaign. Primus Gall and his Red Legion have invaded the city and extinguished the Traveler's Light. You must venture out into the unknown to reassemble humanity's scattered heroes, gather your strength, and retake our home. Your adventures will take you across the system, from unearthed catacombs on Mars to secret research labs abandoned long ago. The main story of the game will be divided amongst a dozen questlines, each introducing you to powerful new allies and granting you new devastating combat abilities. Side quests will also be given to you by characters across the new destinations. This will help you grow your Guardians and discover the extended lore of the Destiny universe. And some might even grant you the weapons and armor of legend. The end of the campaign does not birth the endgame of Destiny 2, and as such, the gameplay experience of Destiny 2 will feature a brand new fleshed out concept of a mid-game. It will feature quests, activities, and progression that is just as content-rich as the campaign, but is designed to be fulfilled across a longer length of time. This is designed to keep the game engaging and fruitful for much longer, and will make reaching the true endgame that much more rewarding. So, how can Destiny 2 achieve this? Well, there are two major ways. The first is through activities that scale in difficulty, providing your Guardian with constant challenges, and the second is through some new ideas in regards to the loot you collect in your character's progression. Defeating the Red Legion is an important first step in rebuilding our civilization, but Gall's invasion of the city has left us weaker than ever before. We must fortify our defenses and prepare ourselves for an even greater threat looming in the shadows. We must confront these minions of the darkness head-on and remind them of the power of the Iron Lords, with Destiny 2's first new mid-game PvE activity, Iron Keep. Iron Keep is a multi-round mode where you will take on waves of increasingly difficult enemies. You are equipped with a few environmental tools which you can use to mount your defense, and then you wait and engage the invading force. The activity can be match-made with up to 6 players. Great communication can be key, and designating roles amongst your team may grant you greater speed, but superior gunplay and tactics will take the day, as the activity is ultimately designed to test your effectiveness in combat. For those looking for a consistent challenge in the arena of PvP, ranked matches will be introduced for the first time in Destiny with dedicated ranked Crucible playlists. These playlists will be separate from the location-based quick play in the director, and is designed for those who want an extra challenge and of course higher end loot. Quick play will remain for the more casual audience, or for those who want to focus more on reputation gain and experience. All of these activities are designed to carry you and your Guardian up to and well beyond Destiny 2's endgame. Moving on to loot. Loot is what has kept players invested in their Guardians for years. There are currently 5 qualities of gear: common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and of course exotic. Aside from its rarity, the quality of a piece of gear defines its degree of attributes, perks, and maximum possible strength. However, the inherent issue with transitioning from the campaign straight into the endgame is that so much of the game's gear becomes irrelevant too quickly. After reaching the level cap, the only worthwhile gear is legendary or exotic, which can be a shame since it's where players will ultimately be spending most of their playtime. There are 2 goals with Destiny 2's loot system. First, to make the rare quality items more useful for longer, making them more valuable overall. Second is to introduce a new quality of gear that is designed to coexist and perhaps exceed legendaries in desirability. Exotics do this to a degree, but are designed to be equipped in only one slot and present wholly unique properties. Attaining exotics need to remain the pinnacle of achievement in Destiny, and they need to feel special and even sometimes overpowered. And that's okay, it's what makes exotics exotic. And as such, exotics will only be presented as rewards for completing exotic quests. There will no longer be exotics that randomly drop from activities or engrams. You'll need to truly earn them. So what can players pursue besides legendaries that will replace that sense of satisfaction? I present to you a brand new quality of gear called set gear. Indicated as red, they are intended to fit alongside legendaries, yet stand apart and provide a more driven player pursuit. In many cases, once a player reaches the endgame, legendaries may still continue to be more valued pursuits as they have the ability to drop with completely random perks, making them more versatile across more activities. Yet the concept of set gear presents a unique opportunity to capture the feel of exotic weapons with unique designs and unique perks tailored specifically for the activity from which it is rewarded from. We see the roots of this idea in Raid gear and Trials of Osiris gear from Destiny 1. Also, by designating the gear as separate quality, we can open up what is possible with this gear. The gear can feature stacking perks, or even incredibly powerful perks that are only unlocked once all pieces of the armor set are collected. Just imagine a set of weapons that feature an enemy armor piercing perk that increases in effectiveness the more weapons of that set you have equipped, or armor that grants you a significantly reduced respawn timer once you collect all the pieces of that set. Set gear has the potential to replace exotics as that extra level of uniqueness that players desire without the need to diminish the feel of exotics. For the third and final topic of this video, let's talk about the new endgame experience. The new lineup of endgame activities start with the weekly Nightfall story mission. Since the story missions in Destiny 2 have increased in scope and scale, their completion at the game's highest difficulties have moved from daily to weekly, complete with specially curated skull modifiers from week to week, which now feature a pool of over 50 different skulls. The new skulls continue to push you and your fire team through the greatest challenges in the game, but will also keep things fresh with modifiers that add environmental changes, alternative enemy skills, health regeneration mechanics, and even altering gravity. Other endgame activities include raids. Raids will be much longer and more mechanically driven, proving themselves as the ultimate endgame challenge. And of course, raid gear will now be graduated to set quality, along with the gear from every major endgame activity. The endgame will perhaps be the most important part of Destiny 2, and in the efforts to reinforce Destiny as a rewarding hobby for players, I present a more passive activity into the game for players who perhaps want a change of pace from all of the intense multi-hour raiding. I was also looking for a better way to incorporate the game's deep lore into the game, and the two ideas came to a head. Presenting the Destiny Grimoire card game. It features the lore cards introduced in Destiny 1, but revamped and incorporated into a fun and strategic RPG card game. Oh, and of course, it's in-game. This presents more incentive to complete certain activities, as you can now use the Grimoire cards you collect throughout the game to bolster your battle deck. You can manage and organize these cards in a dedicated page in your menu, and not to mention, enjoy the lore each card provides with rich, dynamic voice and scene work. Now, it doesn't matter how varied Destiny 2's activities are if they aren't supplemented with a consistent stream of quality content. But aside from that, we want to make the worlds of Destiny something truly special. We want the destinations to be places that invite players to explore, not only due to the beauty and visual awe of those destinations, but because they understand that they might just find something truly unique, or even something undiscovered by anyone else. The world of Destiny is so vast and diverse, so the focus should be to improve the ability to continue to bring new adventures and stories to you and your Guardian. The way to do this properly is to stagger content across not only weeks and months, but even years, keeping players discovering new places and adventures right up until the next major content release. Over the next few months, we will finally learn the adventures that truly await us in the world of Destiny. I hope you enjoyed my ideas presented. They are of course a accumulation of my wildest dreams, and what I believe would make an incredible evolution to the game we love so much. We've spent 3 years with our Guardians, and that journey will continue into Destiny 2. But until then, I'll see you Starside.